everyone. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerd Caliber. I'm here with Mink The Satyr. Mink, what do you have for us today?
Well, today, in honor of, at the time of recording, it's National Goth Day, so I'm a Clefairy. It totally works, just don't worry about it. From Pokemon.
This looks amazing. How did you put it together?
Thank you. This is my quarantine cosplay. So I designed it back in March when we all started our stay in place, and fabric.com is my buddy, always catching me in a pinch, so I was able to get everything from wig to shoes to paints to fabrics all online, but it did mean that I had to wait. So I've now entered a period of planning 2 months in advance to cosplay. It's fine. It all works.
What was, you would say, the cost of putting something together like this?
That's a great question. So I think the fabric cost was probably the most expensive component of it, just because I bought a lot of like really random fabrics, and like I've got some silk over here, and silk is always just more expensive. I love how it breezes. I've got a fan. So the fan's like probably the whole costume, everything cost between $300 and $400, which is ballpark average to slightly cheaper than my usual.
Okay, and that was all mostly fabric? The cost of it, fabric, or?
Yeah, it was mostly the cost of the fabric. Unfortunately, it was also the cost of some of the paints, just because I ran out of a lot of my acrylics prior to our stay in place. So I had to just order all new paints, which unfortunately it costs money.
Oh, okay, wow. Well, can you tell us about the makeup process?
Oh yes, I am very pink. I have probably more shades of pink than is humanly advisable. The makeup process, I feel a little guilty because I did a fast makeup today, but I always start with just some sort of base foundation, because sometimes I get a little splotchy, so that's always good. But I, for this look, I did a lot more rosiness going up the cheekbone, just because, again, I'm doing this kind of like cutesy look. It's hard, you probably won't see it in the video, but I do have a pink sparkle going along a light pink brushed eye, just again, getting some of those hues in. And then I wound up doing a peachy lip with an interior of a really popped pink, because I've been reading a lot of Korean webcomics, and they all have these beautiful ladies with like peach lips but nice pink or rosy interior, and I'm like, oh, I want that in real life. That means I need to two-tone my lipstick. Probably my favorite part of the makeup, though, is my lashes are the magnetic lashes, and I don't mean the ones that are like a top magnet and a bottom magnet and your lashes are like the sandwich jelly in between. This is the kind where you get magnetic eyeliner and you like wick it onto your eye, let it dry, and then you just like pop the lash on. That stuff is revolutionary. I never use any other eyelash falsie again. It's a little bit more expensive than like fake lashes with the glue, but I find that common issue that I have, I don't know if you've heard other people have it too, but like biggest issue is after a long day of wear, like sometimes the eyelash starts wobbling off, or like it gets caught and it starts like peeling off a little bit, and then you're like, oh, and now I have to stand in front of a mirror for like 12 hours just trying to get my eyelash back. But because it's magnetic, I can pop this off and pop it back on, no sweat, and it'll just hold. I feel like an advert, but I kind of am, because I really was converted when I tried it for the first time.
Tell us about the wig. Any problems putting it together?
No, this was one of the first times I did like a curl in front, so it's really cute. I burnt myself only a little bit. I love playing with wigs and putting in like fun little shapes into them, just because like that's when I get to use hot glue with something like hair, and you would be amazed just how easily you can just get away with hiding things by being like, I'm gonna hot glue stuff in this now because it's not my hair and I don't need to ever brush this. This is fine the way it is. In my perfect world, my hair just doesn't move. It's just frozen in place.
So why this character? I've noticed that you tend to cosplay a lot of Pokemon characters. What?
Moi?
What?
Yeah.
What?
So I'm on a quest. It's a stupid quest, and it's a fruitless quest, but it's my quest nonetheless. My quest is to cosplay all 151 of the original first generation Pokemon. I started this quest, I don't know, 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, and it's gonna take me forever. Like, I already know this is gonna, I've done the math. If I do one cosplay a month, through the power of division, I'm in this for the next like 15 years. So eventually I was gonna be a Clefairy. The reason why I did a Clefairy is I literally asked my friends one day in March, hey guys, list 5 Gen 1 Pokemon. I will make one of them for the month of April and go. So Clefairy was on the list.
Oh, excellent. So what's next then? What's next on your list?
Well, since you know I'm planning 2 months in advance now, next on the list is the Nidorans. So Nidoran male and Nidoran female. Technically, that whole family of Pokemon represents like 6 cosplays, but I'm not emotionally ready to do Nidorina and Nidorino and Nidoking and Nidoqueen on an emotional level. But I did do a very like Fire Emblem-y design for Nidoran male and Nidoran female, and I'm really, really excited to finish up Nidoran female in the next couple of days and then get started on the armor for Nidoran male.
Any tips that maybe we haven't talked about yet for anyone that wants to try to cosplay Pokemon? Anything they should know beforehand?
I guess the biggest thing to know beforehand is to just vibe out what kind of aesthetic you want to go for. So like right now I'm doing a very like magical girl, Cardcaptor Sakura inspired costume, and I fully well know it because I thought that was going to be a great aesthetic to match with this Pokemon. So I find it's really helpful if you're making a design from the start to have like a theme or a job or a character in mind. So like you have no trouble believing that this character that I am wearing right now, like, all right, I very well could be a magical girl. I could be fighting baddies and monsters and crying and running from the really scary ones, all the Sailor Moon. Like you can totally see that, and that was kind of like a big motivator for the design. But you also don't have to design your own stuff, especially right now. A lot of amazing 2D artists are drawing all manner of like cool designs, and many of them even write when they publish their designs like, this is free to cosplay, just credit me when you're done. So that's really fun too. I know that there are some folks like Sunset Dragon or Hannah Alexander or Cowslip is a big one in the Pokemon community for just doing cool Pokemon designs that lots of folks like to cosplay. So you don't have to design your own thing, but if you want to, it's real fun. You get to scratch itches. This one scratched the magical girl itch, and I got to play with the concept of making detachable wings.
Oh, wow.
They're magnetic. They sit on my back through the power of magnets. How do they work?
And it's not heavy at all?
Oh my god, it's so lightweight because it's only made out of 2 layers of like 10 mil EVA foam and some 12 gauge steel just kind of wired in there to give it shape, because that way I could bend it without having to heat form it, because sometimes heat forming something this big, it's a big old pain.
Are your ears made the same way, same materials?
Yeah, my ears are also made of EVA foam. I had been looking online to see, like, for inspiration from other Clefairy cosplayers, and I love the way a lot of Clefairy cosplayers work, but what I've noticed is that I responded less positively to when I saw like the furred ears, because I just found they tend to be like really thick. So I was like, all right, well, for them it works, but for me, I think I'm going to try the foam ears, and I won't bother putting fur or fabric over it because whatever, it'll be cute the way it is.
Okay. Well, before we
But
wrap
that's
up,
a big thing. I love looking at what is out there already because it's really fun to just get inspired by what other people have done.
so before we wrap up, where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me at Mink The Satyr. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I also stream every Thursdays on Twitch, so that's twitch.tv/Mink The Satyr.
Again, thank you so much. I always love whatever you make. It always amazes me what you come up with. And
You're too nice. Thank you.
and thank you very much. Have a great day.